If you have dreams, goals, aspirations, you have things that you would like to do, you have places you'd like to go, but you come up with excuses all the time as to why you can't do those things, how do you expect to move forward? How do you expect to achieve those dreams? If you keep coming up with excuses, if you keep letting fear control your actions, you're not going to be able to. We need to stop letting fear control our actions. We need to stop making excuses. What's up, dreamers? Welcome to Driving and Vibing. Today, I want to talk about not making excuses, and I'm guilty of this. Everybody's guilty of this, regardless of who they are, okay? No matter what they say, right? But I'm guilty of this too. I used to make excuses. I still do sometimes to, as to why I can't start something or why I can't do something, blah, blah, blah. It happens, okay? And I did the same thing for years before I started this YouTube channel. I knew I wanted to help gamers improve their game by improving their health, by starting this YouTube channel. And then of course, personal training. I want to, in health coaching, not wanted to be, I am, okay? And health coaching, so coaching people through that process. And I delayed it because I was like, I need the right camera equipment. I don't have enough time, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, I decided that enough was enough on the excuses. There's never going to be a perfect time for anything ever, realistically, because perfect is relative. And I decided to listen to what everybody else says, including what I'm saying right now, and just go with it and learn as I go, okay? Now, obviously, there are different scenarios, but I just talked to somebody who was afraid to do something. I'm not going to get into details on what they were afraid to do, but they were giving me excuses as we kept talking about it. And I kept giving, asking about like the excuses basically. And as we kept talking, he got to the point where he was like, you could tell he was thinking about it, and that the fact that they were excuses, you could tell it was starting to like click, that he was just making excuses. And so what happened was he was afraid of what the outcome was going to be, basically. And I was like, how do you know what the outcome's going to be? Like, he was assuming that one outcome, that it was going to be a negative outcome. That's what he kept saying. And he kept making excuses because of that. And I was like, how do you know that? Like, nothing that you told me about the journey to what you're about to do leads me to believe that there's going to be a negative outcome. And I said, worst case scenario, if there is a negative outcome, because it's not make or break your like life path type situation, I said that's okay, right? It really is okay. Like, if it doesn't pan out the way you did, at least you took your shot, right? Because you miss 100% of the shots you don't take, right? So it's like, so he was making excuses. You could tell it was starting to click with him. And then, because I was talking to him on the phone, right then and there, he was like, you know what? Give me a minute. Mutes the phone. I guess he went through with what he was going to do. And, there was no negative outcome. There was no positive outcome. It was kind of a neutral, it was a step forward. So it's hard to explain the situation without blowing up the exact situation, because I can't, but basically he took that step forward. The step that he kept telling me he couldn't do, he didn't want to do, he took that step forward. Now, it didn't put him into a position where he was going to get to the end goal, but he did not take a step back, okay? He went through and realized that he was just making excuses, and he was letting fear kind of control him, and then he pushed through. That's what we need more of. We need more people to kind of realize that you are not, you should not be living and letting fear control your lives, okay? And you should not be making excuses for absolutely everything. Obviously, there's a time and a place to make an excuse, again, I still do it sometimes, but it will hold you back from achieving the things that you want in life. So we need to stop living in fear. We need to stop letting fear control our actions. We need to stop making excuses. I just bit my tongue. I'm ending the video. If you have anything to add, if you have any questions, if you have any tips of your own, any stories, please tell me in the comments. I'd love to talk. I would love to talk to people. If you have any topics that you'd like me to talk about in my videos, let me know. I would love to make some videos. Hit that like button, I was on the channel. Hit that subscribe button. Nobody watched until the end anyway. Hope everybody has a great day. Hope to see you in the next video. Later, dreamers.